Welcome to Like Mother, Like Murder. I am Rachel.
And I'm Heather.
We bring you the good,
the badass,
and the crime.
This is Like Mother, Like Murder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Like Mother, Like Murder, your favorite true crime momcast. I am Rachel.
And I am Heather. And every week, we bring you mom-related true crime content. And this week, we are bringing you extra special true crime content because we have an extra special takeover by the one, the only, Miss Jasmine.
Yes.
Long time coming. We've been trying to plan this, but to be completely honest, Rachel and I are like flakes.
Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud. Yeah, we definitely did get our schedule messed up, but we are here and we are making it happen. Okay. But with that said, Jasmine, you are here. We are so happy to have you, the amazing host of Black Coffee, Crime, and Crochet. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we are definitely excited. So to start off, can you kind of tell us a little bit about your show?
Yes. So my show, Black Coffee, Crime, and Crochet, is one where I combine my loves of iced coffee, true crime, and crocheting. So every episode, I give an iced coffee recipe, I update on whatever crochet project I'm working on, and then I tell a scam or fraud related story that was committed by a Black man or woman.
Yeah, I have to admit, when we first started, we were way back when we were Wine Time, and I around the same time had just bought a new Nespresso, so I was like really into like trying to make like different types of coffees. I still am, but a lot of times I like land on just like the same coffee that I make over and over for like 3 months until I'm like super tired of it, and then I'll just like switch it up. But every time I see you like make different like recipes, I'm like, oh my god, like damn, I really need to like because I went all out. Like I had like the frother and I did like the whole damn thing, but like now I just feel lazy every time I see one of your videos.
And my husband just got me an espresso. I didn't realize the difference between the instant and the actual espresso.
Right?
Holy cow. I couldn't even finish my drink today because it was so strong.
Right? I know. It's bad. It's bad, but it's so good.
It's so smooth.
That's
like
the thing.
The texture and the yes. I love it.
We need to start like a coffee podcast. I do not have an espresso, and whenever I go to Heather's house, it is like a little treat of mine to have an espresso. And I will say, coffee runs through my veins, you guys. Like coffee is my blood, and I still feel it, like when I'm at her house and I'm like, damn, this is good, and I'm ready to just take over the world.
Like I will not eat breakfast just to make my coffee, and then by the time the girls have like flipping off the walls, and I'm like, oh, I can't eat, but I had my coffee, so I'm good.
That's incredible.
I mean, priorities.
Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit more about coffee in a minute, but you just talked about kids, and, we know you're a mom, and I had the privilege of recording with you a little while back and seeing you in your mom element, because, momming never stops.
Never stops.
So can you share a little bit about your motherhood journey?
Oh, my motherhood journey. That is so good. So I became a mom in 2022. So our oldest will be 3 next month. Yes. And our youngest she'll be 10 months. Yeah, she'll be 10 months. Yeah. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. So it's so rewarding. The days aren't always easy, but I wouldn't want it any other way. Like I can't imagine not being home with them.
Yeah.
but I never thought that I would like it as much as I did. Like I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but like actually being in it, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So it's like it helps me to remember that in like the chaotic, oh my gosh, where Tyler's getting on my nerves moments.
We know those moments.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. No, I totally can understand exactly how you feel. Like, it's one of those things where when I was younger, I always knew, like, okay, well, I know I want to be a mom, but I never thought I would, I actually never thought I would be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I was surrounded by working mothers growing up, so I just assumed I would be a working mother. And then when we had our first, I was a working mom, but then right after we had her, like literally like 6 months in, COVID hit. And so we were both working from home while we had her. And so working from home, I mean, it's not the same. And luckily my husband's job, it kind of, it was very low key during COVID. Like he didn't have a lot of work during COVID, just the nature of his job. And so he did a lot of the like day to day. But being home with my daughter during that early time, I was like, oh my God, this is why am I not doing this all the time? Like all the time. And that really shifted my whole mentality. And then, turning my whole like priorities into like, I need to find a work from home job where I can spend more time with the kids, because I'm not the 9 to 5 in an office. It's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me
At all.
Especially in these early years, and I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay.
And so it's, kind of that same gap. And it's, I'm,
And then
I'm like, no, I need to be around those little bellas.
I will always work. I will never be a stay-at-home mom, and now I am. How did that happen? But I work more than I did when I actually.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I worked in post office. I worked my life away.
You
but I never ever was like, oh, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom. No, I will work forever.
And now
I do it. But she's older, so it really doesn't. She's 10. She's 5. She's self-sufficient. She does her own things. Yeah. We can make it work around here. Okay, so I want to go a little bit deeper into your podcast, Black Coffee, Crime, and Crochet. So what kind of, I'm like, which direction do I want to start? It's like, I want to know your favorite coffee. I want to know what crimes like really like got you into why you wanted to start this podcast in the first place. And when did you start crocheting? So start wherever you want, because I need to know just more about it all.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with crocheting, because that's an interesting story. So I learned to crochet in 2018. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. It's just that I worked at a juvenile detention center, and we weren't allowed to have our phones on us. And, I'm a typical millennial, and I have ADHD. So I have to have something to do with my hands, or else I'm just going crazy. So you're inside this detention center, the windows are like small, and it's like, it's you're basically an inmate while you're at work, basically is what it feels like. And then now you're cutting me off from all contact because I can't have my phone. I'm like going crazy. So come to find out that all of the employees would crochet with the girls on the pod to like kind of have something to do. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out what to do, and they're all crocheting. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I have to do? So they tell me like what I have to go get, and they're sitting there teaching me how to crochet, and like that's just how I picked it up. They're like, okay, this stitch. I don't know what the name of the stitches are. I was like, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned.
Question, and don't get mad at me. The crocheting is the 1. Knitting is 2.
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Okay.
So it's a crochet hook and knitting needles.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do both?
No.
Okay.
My mind can't comprehend. Some people can, but I can't. I don't know. No, that's above my.
Well, I can do neither. So there's that. I could wear whatever you make.
Okay, and then my favorite iced coffee I love a good blonde,
Yes.
yes, latte. Yes. So, however I can make it, like, yes. But I've also gotten into matcha lately, which I didn't know that I would like.
Yes.
But sweetened, I can't do with the real earthy ones that the hardcore diet hard matcha people do. I can't. I gotta have the sweetened one.
Yeah.
So
you don't like the taste of grass, right? It's
no,
this.
no, I
I get
don't.
you.
I don't understand how that's appealing to people.
No offense to people who like it. Like to each their own. But that's for me. I'm not there as well. I'm the same as you. I'm not there on my matcha journey.
I don't think I'll ever get there.
I don't. Maybe it's a little like wine. How like when I was literally like 21, I'm like, oh, I love wine, and they're like, what kind of wine do you like? I'm like, I like the what's like that really sweet,
a Riesling,
like not even like sweeter than that. What was like the sweetest wine?
Moscato.
No, even sweeter than that. I don't even know. Like the sweetest wine you could think of. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. And they're like, that's not wine. That's like juice. Maybe it was Moscato. And then like now, not aging myself, but all these years later, I'm like, no, if I drink that, I'll literally like gag because it's too sweet. It tastes like a diet soda that is like full of fake sweetener. I have to have like a deep red, otherwise I'm like, nah, nah. So maybe I'll get there one day on my matcha journey, but right now I'm in the same boat as you. I'm like, I can't do like the hardcore matcha.
No. How they be like whisking it and stuff. I'm like, just give me the frother and I'm good. Like,
yeah,
we're not doing all that. I do also love loaded teas. I've gotten into that too. So anything iced, I'm down to try.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to send you, or I wonder if it popped up on my algorithm because of you. It's so funny that I'm thinking about that. Like it's funny how I think, but it's this page on Instagram. She's a tea sommelier. Which I'm like, that sounds like the coolest job ever. And she's doing this like summer series of iced teas where she makes, and she has this like, okay, there's a formula for a perfect iced tea. So it's always like a certain amount of, and she does loose leaf tea, right? Where she like puts it in, and then it's always like a certain amount of fruit and a certain amount of citrus that you put in. I'll send you the page because it's like legit. I'm like, oh, all of this is like the bombest in the world of iced teas.
And then the true crime. Yeah. So I started watching true crime way back in 2004 when Snap aired.
Nice.
Yes. That was me and my mom. That was our thing. Like we would sit down and we would watch Snapped, and that was just it. So like I've been a true crime girly since then.
I love it. I don't even know what that is. You know I should be canceled. I should be canceled.
Girl, that's the OG true crime show.
Girl, if you watched it, you'd be like, oh, I know what it is.
It's literally the first true crime show. Well, I mean, like not like other than those, but like yeah, it's the OG one. And I was really mad.
We probably told like a billion Snap stories, and we don't even know.
Like, I'm mad when they switched out the original narrator because I loved her voice. It was so soothing. And then they switched her out. And I was like, anyways, but yeah. So I've always watched it. But I didn't get into true crime podcasts until maybe 2020.
Okay.
I don't even know how I came across it. I don't remember. But what made me want to get into it myself is because representation. So I'm looking through all these stories, and it's like it was all the same stories, the big ones being retold, and then I'm like, where are the Black people at? Like I know we have story, not to glamorize it, but like I know there's some stories out there, and I'm just not seeing them. And then sometimes you want like a break from all the heavy murder stuff. So I love American Greed and stuff like that. But again, where are the Black people at? So I think when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for myself, because it took me like I think a year and a half of figuring out. I knew I wanted to start one, but like exactly what direction I wanted to go in, and like what I wanted to name it, and like hammering it down was probably like a year and a half process. And I was like, okay, there are a lot of good ones that cover murders by Black people. Sisters Who Kill is one that I love. And then Black Girl Gone, another one that I love, that I listen to all the time. So I'm like, those, and then Black True Crime. They kind of have that in the bag. Like, they do it very well. And they cover the story. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't think we have a lot to tell the scam and fraud side, even though we have a lot of, we have a lot of stories to tell. So I think I kind of landed there. Maybe in the fall.
Okay.
And then it was kind of like, it's kind of just slowly worked its way into it from there. And then, I was like, okay, we just got to go. Because I'm a perfectionist at heart, but then I sit in it too much where I become paralyzed and I just don't do anything. And my husband is like, are we doing this or not? Like, so he's like, I'm buying you the mic. I'm buying you this. So you have it now. So you don't have any choice. You have to do it. So I'm like, okay, we're doing it.
I love that. That's like a support, but that's the support that I need. Because if someone's not like, hey, guess what? Show up. I'm be like, well, I might not.
And that's me. And he knows that. So he was like, okay, I spent the money. Now she got to do it. And I was like, okay.
I love that you saw that. You were like, this is what I want as a listener. And then you're like, wait, why don't I just do it? Shit.
Exactly.
I love that so much. And you're right. You're right that there is obviously, we've talked about the complete, like, the disproportionate coverage. We've talked about that several times on our podcast. And then also you're right that there is, like, you do get a lot of the heavy. And so sometimes it is like kind of just, we call it a palate cleanse of just like, and so to just kind of, and so I love that that's where you landed, because as a listener, and it's so funny because we were just talking about this the other day, how we started as a listener, like that we will always be kind of like a listener at heart. And so I love that you came in and you were like, you know what, as a listener, this is what I would want. And so this is what I'm going to bring.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, all of that is amazing, and thank you for sharing that with us. And today you are taking over the mic here on Like Mother Like Murder, and you are going to bring us a story today. So we're going to let you get into it. We're going to sit back. I'm sure we will have a lot to say and some, commentary to add here and there, but you're taking over. So we're going to let you add it.
Okay. So today I'm telling you about the amazing woman, Angelique Angel Sutton, who, let me say, because I know I said that I typically do scams and frauds. I rarely do murder. This, however, is a murder, but it's a murder birthed from a scam.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So, Angelique Sutton is the victim, and Ashley Wade is the, I guess I want to say, perpetrator. So Ashley Wade grew up in the Bronx and was actually a childhood acquaintance of Angelique Sutton. And I couldn't find a lot about Ashley's upbringing, but at the time of the story, it's 2015, and Ashley Wade is 22 years old, and she's living in the Wakefield section of the Bronx. And she was engaged in an elaborate deception. She pretended to be pregnant for months, fooling her boyfriend, her family, and even her landlord with tales of an impending baby in your face. I'm like, yeah.
That's why we need Heather on every single episode for every. That's when I was like, we can do this, but no, we need her. Her face is a main character in every episode. Yeah, right. We're off to a good start here. That is not something that should happen, and it's we're here for a reason, and I'm sure this is gonna be very unfortunate.
Good. Yep. So she was scamming people by pretending to be pregnant, and she went so far as to post a sonogram image that she likely downloaded from the internet and even set up baby registries and said that her due date was November 16th, 2015. Yeah. Neighbors later recounted that they literally had no idea or no doubt that she was expecting. Like, you couldn't convince them that she wasn't pregnant, because she displayed baby clothes, diapers, and other preparations for a child that literally didn't exist behind this facade. Yeah. Wade's mental state was deteriorating. Reports suggest she may have experienced a hysterical or pseudopsychosis pregnancy, where she actually developed false pregnancy symptoms and then believed that she had lost the baby.
Wow. I've heard of this. Oh my gosh.
Do you know, did she have kids other than...
No. Nope, no kids.
The one she's claiming that she was pregnant, was it?
Nope.
Dang.
I'm wondering if she had a history of any kind of like infertility or even like, okay.
Yes.
If
I remember correctly, yes. Right.
That tracks. Yeah, because just like from a psychological point of view, that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't, but it does in terms of what's happening now. Yeah.
So in reality, she had never been pregnant, but her childhood friend, Angelique, who Wade reconnected with on Facebook, was pregnant. And they started bonding over their pregnancies, for months leading up to this story. Yes. Unbeknownst to those around her, Wade had begun formulating a deadly plan to acquire a baby.
My heart is racing.
Yes. So, prosecutors later revealed that Wade had studied and planned how to kill and take the baby, which indicated significant premeditation.
Oh my goodness gracious.
She even told a friend she would name her daughter Genesis, but spelled it Jenasis, which was the same name that Angelique had chosen for her unborn.
Stop.
Yes.
Come on.
Yep. So this disturbing buildup culminated in a tragic encounter on Angelique's wedding day.
No.
Look, this is like a series of unfortunate events, but honestly, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like, how do you, I'm sorry, my brain wants to go off in a million different directions, but it's like, how do you get to one level of low and then go even lower than that? That's absolutely crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, who is Angelique Sutton? She was lovingly known as Angel to her friends and family. She was a 22-year-old woman with a bright future. She's a recent graduate of St. John's University with a degree in criminal justice. She literally had her whole life ahead of her. And her friends described her as lighthearted and genuinely sweet. She was someone with a captivating laugh who would lift anyone's spirits. She was deeply loved by her family, and her father, William Sutton, was a bishop at a local church, and her mother was a pastor. And together they raised Angelique with a strong faith and value. In late 2015, Angelique was 8 months pregnant with a baby girl. Like I said, she planned to name the baby Genesis, and she was preparing to marry the baby's father, Patrick Bradley, in a civil ceremony on November 20th, 2015. Yeah. So that was meant, of course, to be a joyous day. Angelique's wedding day was just weeks before her due date, but it tragically became the day her life was cut short.
Oh my God.
Yes. So now let's get to the crime.
And this is like someone she knows. Like, this is her...
From childhood, yeah.
Like, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
So they grew up together, but then, life happened and they lost touch. But then Ashley reached out to Angelique on Facebook and they reconnected.
Yeah.
So they literally...
did she reach out like when she found out she was pregnant too? Like, did it start?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they had reconnected and then it so happened that they, oh fudge. So this was like more than premeditated. Like this was like this was like, oh my God.
She basically preyed on her once she figured out that she was pregnant. Yeah.
Like this was like a stalking status.
And she spent months with Angelique going out to dinner and coffee dates and going shopping for the babies. Like they were tight for months.
It's like one of those things where it's like they say like how you truly don't know anyone. Like you truly don't know what someone is up to, what they're thinking, what they're doing. And that's terribly disgusting.
Yep. So now we are at Friday, November 20th, 2015. So Angel, who we're not going to mistake for Angel, or for Angelique, Angel is Ashley Wade's boyfriend.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So they referred to Angelique as Angel, but Ashley's boyfriend's also named Angel.
Got you.
So Angel is out running errands, and it's the afternoon when he gets a frantic call from who he thinks is his pregnant girlfriend, who is now days past her due date, because she was telling everyone that a baby was due November 16th, and we're now at November 20th. Also, November 20th is, 6 days before Thanksgiving, so everybody's in, high spirits, the holiday season, running around doing errands. So that's what he's doing. He's out when Ashley calls him, very frantic, and she tells him that she had been attacked and he needed to come home. So Angel, of course, dropped what he was doing and raced back to Ashley's apartment as quickly as he could. When he got there, Ashley was sitting outside on the steps holding a baby, and she's covered in blood. Yes. So when Angel asked Ashley what happened, she said that she was attacked and that her attacker was still inside the house. Yeah. So Angel goes inside to see what's going on, but he literally walked into a house of horror. There was literally blood everywhere. It's smeared on the walls. It's on the floor. It's just everywhere. And he's walking around trying to find the attacker, but he's not seeing anybody until he gets to the bedroom.
Oh my God.
That is when he sees on the bed the lifeless body of Angelique. So, of course, once he realizes that she's not moving, he exits the apartment and calls 911.
And he knows her, right? Like, he knows her because they all know each other, or?
No, he doesn't know her.
He doesn't know her.
To my recollection, he does not know her.
Okay.
No.
Oh, my God.
So, like, Ashley has kind of kept this relationship that she's been having with Angelique, like, separate.
I believe
Probably,
so.
It makes sense, right? That she would, though, if her whole plan was to take her baby and pass it off as her own.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Right. My thing, though, is she's sitting there with a whole baby and you don't have no questions. You're not like, did you go into labor?
Seriously, like where did what happened?
Well, I mean, in that moment, I guess my perspective is you really can't think about that at that moment. It's you are fearful for if the attacker is inside.
Yeah.
She said she was attacked. So,
like, I would also be like,
see what's going on.
On the same token, I'd be like, if you're out here and the baby's out here and both y'all are okay, get in the car. We're going to the hospital. Like, attacker can figure it. I call the police on the way. Attacker can like be gone. We need to make sure you and the baby are okay.
Yeah. I see that for sure.
Yeah. I'm more on that line too, because the fact that he went into the house, I'm like,
like, you're just gonna leave your baby mama and the newborn baby, like, that obviously came during a traumatic attack, just like out there because to go after the attacker. Who cares about the attacker? Okay.
Yeah. So he tells 911 that his girlfriend was attacked and that they needed help. So at that point, the paramedics and first responders come on the scene and they see Ashley with the baby and blood on her. So they're trying to get medical attention for Ashley and the baby. And then they go inside and they also see the horrible scene that nobody expected because they're thinking that, it's an attack.
Right.
But what they're seeing is much more than what you would just think of for a typical attack. So they are trying to piece together exactly what happened. So at this point, they think that the attacker is Angelique, even though we know that the attacker is not Angelique. And they also think that Angelique is dead, but she's not dead. She's breathing and she has a pulse at this point.
Oh,
so they rush her to the hospital, to one hospital, and they rush Ashley to a separate hospital. So they're not at the same place. So once they're getting both of them to the respective hospitals, officers are realizing that this scene is a lot. There's just blood everywhere. And so they're like, this can't be random. It's too much blood for it to be random. So they're like, Ashley has to know who the attacker is because that's the only way that this would make sense. So they confront Ashley about it, and they're like telling them what their suspicions are. And then that's when they tell the officers that, yes, she indeed knows who the attacker was. And she tells them that it was Angelique Sutton. She goes on to explain that they were childhood friends from elementary school. And they're like, okay, well, how did, this person that that you grew up with, how does she then just attack you? Like, what happened? What led up to this attack? So Ashley starts trying to piece together some sort of story. So it's literally not making sense from the jump, but she's saying that I'm sorry. The reason why they said it's not making sense is because, like I said, the amount of blood and the fact that Angelique's marks were strategic. Her abdomen was completely left untouched, and most of the marks are on her face and her neck and stuff like that. So it's looking very deliberate. So they ask Ashley what happened, and she says that I'm sorry. Before Ashley gets to telling them what happened, we also have to remember that was Angelique's wedding day.
Oh, fudge. I had forgotten that part.
Right.
Seriously.
So, where's Patrick in all of this?
Oh, no.
Right. So, Patrick, unfortunately, is at the courthouse waiting on Angelique.
No. Oh, no. That's so sad.
Yes. So, getting into their relationship a little bit, at this point, Angelique and Patrick had been together for years. Like, they were the people that had always been around. They were friends, and then eventually, became more than that. They were childhood friends, like all of that. And so they were childhood friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, and then eventually evolved into fiance, and they're getting ready to get married. So Angelique, like I said, is not only preparing for a baby, but she's also preparing to get married. And at this point, they had been together for 10 years. So at this point, sister had been 10 years. So like, we don't need a big wedding. Let's just go to the courthouse and get it over with. That's, financially, that's what makes sense. And we're already, starting a family, so we don't need anything big. So they decided to go to the courthouse and have the civil ceremony. So typically, Angelique is very on time. She's, very meticulous. And so when they say she's very dependable, she worked with the family business, she's very reliable. So initially, Patrick is sitting there like, of all the times for you to be late, like, why would you be late to the wedding? Like, that's not like you. So he's sitting there and he's waiting and he's getting frustrated because, they have an appointment time for it.
Right.
And so, you only have so much time to do it. And so as it's getting closer and closer and she's still not there, his frustration goes to concern because this is not like her. Where is she? So he's trying to call her and he's not getting any answer. So, he's growing increasingly concerned, but then his phone rings and he's like, okay, maybe that's Angelique. But it wasn't. It was not. It was his dad telling him that there had been an accident. Yeah. So he's not knowing how serious it is. He doesn't know what's happened. He just knows that he has to get to the hospital. So at this point, despite all their efforts, Angelique had died. She didn't make it. Oh. Patrick's father eventually does tell him that Angelique didn't make it. So Patrick is like, what just happened? We're supposed to be getting married. How did she end up dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're back at the hospital. And Patrick has now arrived to the hospital. So we're at the hospital and he lets them know who he's looking for. And at this point, the police and the detectives are already there. So the nurse kind of gives them a look and they motion to Patrick, and, the police make their way over there and they introduce themselves and they tell Patrick that Ashley claims that Angelique attacked her. And Patrick is like, absolutely not. That's just not who she is as a person.
We're getting married today. Why in the... My fiance was literally about to have a child in 5 days. We're getting married today. Why in the world would she go and attack this girl like that? Oh, make it make sense, right? Like, no.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
Literally that. Make it make sense. So what happened? So Ashley says that morning, she texts Angelique excited to let her know that she had gotten a gift for her for the baby. So Angelique said that she would stop by on her way to the courthouse to grab the gift.
Oh, God.
So that's what she does. She makes a detour on her way to the courthouse to stop at Ashley's house for what she thinks is going to be just a few minutes to grab the gift and then keep going. But when detectives start questioning Ashley about what's happening, because they're like, the pieces aren't adding up.
No.
Excuse me. Ashley says that Angelique texted her out of the blue that day and said that she was outside already and wanted to come in. So Ashley says that she was caught off guard and that she wasn't having a good day. She's trying to tell Angelique that not to come in, to come another day, but Angelique is already outside. So she said that she lets Angelique come in, but at that point, Angelique becomes very aggressive, very hostile, starts accusing Ashley of bullying her back in elementary school, and she says that...
Okay.
She says
they should have just shut her up in that moment and not let her say another word.
No, keep going. Keep making yourself look like a dum-dum, girl. Like, let it go ahead. Because anything you can and say will be used against you in the court of law.
Yeah. So somehow this becomes about bullying back in elementary school. And they're like, she just said she's got very aggressive and very intense. And she says that she was confused because she didn't understand why Angelique was bringing this up. And
we're all confused, actually. Yeah. We're all confused.
She's like, I thought we were friends. And she didn't know what was going on. And she said at some point, she felt unsafe. And she felt threatened by Angelique. So she said she just grabbed the first thing that she could. And she says that Angelique attacked her and that she defended herself with a knife. She then goes on to say that at one point Angelique had the knife, but somehow got it away from her. And then once she got the knife, she started, I guess, defending herself and trying to get Angelique off of her. And when, and mind you, the police are all telling this to Patrick, right?
Oh my God.
Yes. So they're telling this to Patrick, and he's like, this just doesn't make any sense at all, because that's just not something that Angelique would do. She's not an aggressive person.
And, like, how are the police relaying this? Because, like, for them, they're like, well, so we just got this story that doesn't make sense to us, but let's go ahead and try to retell you this, like, really jinky story that we don't even understand. Let's go ahead. And we're going to tell you this story before we even have all the evidence. Like, again, let's make this make sense. Like, come on.
Yeah.
They probably found it just as bizarre at that moment. Of like, listen, look, she's saying this. Tell us
trying to be like,
why we need to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you this. We don't really believe it. We just kind of want to get your take on it.
Yeah. So, like, we just want to see if it doesn't make sense to you, like it doesn't make sense to us.
Right.
But then Patrick drops a bomb and he tells the detectives that Angelique was 8.5 months pregnant because they didn't know that.
Oh, God.
Right. So he says she's 8.5 months pregnant and she's set to give birth any day now. And so the detectives kind of look at each other like,
oh, God.
We didn't know that. And so he looks at the detective and he's like, okay, so where's the baby? Where's my baby? Did the baby make it? Because at that point they're saying there's only one baby. So he's like, if there's only one baby, then the baby has to be mine because Angelique was pregnant. So the detectives are like, okay, well, we don't really know whose baby it is. At this point, Ashley says it's hers.
God.
Yeah. They're like, Ashley's saying it's hers. So he can't even see the baby at this point until they figure out like whose baby it really is. So he's just distraught. Like not only did he just lose her, but he can't even see the baby. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wow. My God.
Yes. So, Ashley, of course, is claiming that she gave birth. So the detectives are like, let's go verify that. So they're trying to get the medical staff to evaluate Ashley, right? Which is typical standard procedure. And Ashley starts to flip out, of course. She doesn't want them to do that. So now they're really like, was Ashley even really pregnant? So now we're going back to the crime scene because now they're really walking through it. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And like I said before, there was just blood everywhere. And they're walking through it and they see something that's thrown out like garbage. So they open the bag and in the bag is a placenta and the uterus. Oh, God. Among other parts of the body, there's flesh and bodily fluids and it's all that inside this bag.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, they're not on the inside. They're just, different parts of the apartment. So, which makes the medical examiner. So, because of this, the medical examiner called the detectives and they're like, hey, we're doing this autopsy and her uterus and her placenta is missing and some other organs are missing. So now they're connecting the dots like, okay, clearly Angelique was not the attacker, but she was actually the victim and Ashley was the attacker.
And she was definitely the one that was pregnant, clearly.
Clearly. So now they go back and they confront Ashley with all this information, but Ashley sticks to her story of Angelique attacking her. But she says once she realized that Angelique was down, now she has a new story. And she says that she felt like she had to save the baby.
Oh, get out of here.
I had a feeling that was coming. Like, that's what I thought you were going to say the first time. Like, after she attacked her and that happened, I had to cut the baby out to save the baby.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep. So she took it upon herself to get the baby out. And then she says once Angel, her boyfriend, got there and saw the baby, he was like, we're going to be a family. We'll work it out. It's okay. We'll get through this. And Ashley took that as we're going to be a family that she's always wanted. So, that just makes all of it okay. Right.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, that's not okay.
No.
Yeah.
Where is Angel during all of this? Is he around?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Cause cause he thinks that's his baby, right?
Yeah.
So that's, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I didn't even think to go back and check where he is at this point because I was just so wrapped up in all of this. But yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, mind you, like I said, Angelique was slashed with a kitchen knife in the throat and stabbed repeatedly as many as 50 times. Right, and like most of her injuries were to her face and her neck, and her larynx was sliced so that she couldn't scream for help. But like I said, more importantly, Ashley made a point to not harm Angelique's abdomen, which was giving premeditated. So, she was just laying there, unable to fight back, and Wade used a paring knife to cut open her abdomen and womb, brutally extracting the baby girl from her mother's body.
Oh my God.
Right. So Angelique succumbed to her injuries almost immediately, even though they tried to save her life. So now Patrick is saying that Angelique's pregnant. He's like, where's the baby? I want to see the baby. And initially the detectives were like, we got to figure all this out. We don't really know. So at this point, police know that Ashley is the perpetrator. So she's taken into custody and taken to a mental facility to see if she's even fit to stand trial. So Ashley Wade was promptly charged with second-degree murder, kidnapping, and weapons possession, and she underwent a psychiatric evaluation while held in custody at Elmhurst Hospital's secure ward. Over the next 2 years.
What?
2 years. What? 2 years. Prosecutors prepared a meticulous case, and Angelique's family cared for baby Genesis, who was the lone bright spot in the tragedy. So,
thank God for that.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to say the baby obviously did survive. I think I forgot to say that, but yes, she survived.
And obviously they did like I guess they can confirm that it was Angelique's baby, so they gave so Patrick knows okay, this is my
yeah.
Okay.
So in late September 2017, Wade's murder trial began in Bronx Supreme Court. The prosecution laid out the unfathomable facts of the case in stark detail: how Wade had feigned pregnancy, lured her friend on her wedding day, and carried out a disturbing and gruesome premeditated murder to steal a baby. Graphic evidence was presented, including horrific crime scene photos, which was so disturbing that one juror fainted.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. Upon seeing them, prosecutors highlighted how calculated the attack was, noting Wade's careful avoidance of the victim's belly. He said, quote, "She took a great deal of care to avoid the abdomen."
Mm-hmm.
So the defendant needed Miss Sutton to die, and she needed Genesis to live. Assistant DA told the jury that they also read aloud Wade's chilling confession in which she claimed, "I couldn't have any more children die, so I rescued the baby. Holding her felt right, and I believed that the little girl was mine." So she had a history of miscarriages. Yeah.
That, like I said, I
Yeah.
saw that. That's just and that's what's so hard. I mean, if you haven't been through infertility yourself, someone who has. It obviously takes a really big toll. And so, it's tough, and it can really take a huge, obviously, besides being a physical thing, it's a huge mental thing, psychological thing for a lot of women to have to go through. And she clearly needed help. She clearly did not get the type of help she needed. And this is just an extremely, extremely horrible, horrible case of, oh my gosh, that psychological, the psychosis. That's just that's insane. That's so scary. And no wonder she got put on they had to take her to psych first to see what even was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I really, when you were talking about how the jury one of the jury fainted, I wonder how hard it was to even go, their voir dire process must have been so hard, because I mean, any juror that was a mom,
Mm-hmm.
imagine how hard it would have been to find an impartial mother.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you ask a question about did you have a traumatic birth? Like, you're out. Like, you know, like, it's just like it's like that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yep. So, wrapping it up, basically, the defense claimed that Wade acted under extreme emotional disturbance, hoping to reduce the murder charge. But the prosecutor was like, she was too purposeful and coldly plotted. Yeah. So the jury agreed with that. And after a nearly 2-week trial and just 5 hours of deliberation, they found Ashley Wade guilty of second-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping in October 2017.
Oh, thank God. If you were going to say
second
anything
degree, hold on,
out, I would have lost my mind. Okay.
So I'm sorry. Yes, second degree because they believed that Ashley wasn't in the best mental state, and they had text messages to prove. Yeah, they had text messages to prove that Ashley asked Angelique not to come that day, and Angelique went anyway. So because of
she was having second thoughts. About doing it.
Yes. So because of that, they knocked it to second degree instead of first.
I mean, so this is always where I go back and forth, especially on cases like this, where clearly she had psychological struggles. And we've talked about this before, like, you know, being mothers, especially like I was just saying, like dealing with infertility issues, that really does. I mean, not only just like in general, but like when your hormones are going through it, if you've dealt through miscarriages and you've got hormonal issues, obviously, like it's gonna have an impact on your mind. What's so crazy is I feel like I've heard this case before, but what's even sadder is I don't actually think it was this exact case. I think it was another case that's very similar to this.
It is.
Where actually the boyfriend knew and was like part of the situation.
So there is the other one that's very, very similar.
And it was actually like an upstairs neighbor who they lured down there. Where did I hear this?
Any podcast ever?
I feel like I heard it recently. It must be someone in our podcast group who like recently covered it. Maybe it was like K-Jar or something. Or maybe Trial by Podcast.
I was going to say maybe it was them.
So, but yeah, no, I always go back and forth because it's like, I get that there's a lot of issues. Like there's a lot of like issues, but you still need to be held accountable. But yeah, like, so I can see the second degree, but also part of me is like, it's so gruesome. And it was clearly premeditated.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane because I swear, and it's so sad because clearly being a podcast about, and especially a true crime podcast about moms is, we've heard cases about this subject matter before, and it's like, it's never any less shocking. It's so sad.
Yeah.
But I have never heard that one before. That is shocking. And the whole idea that she was basically pretending to be pregnant that entire time that is insane to me. Oh my gosh. Well, as shocking as that was, and as many times as you like literally took my breath away and gave me goosebumps, thank you for bringing that story, Jasmine.
Thank you for having me on. And the thing about it I wanted to tell is because you this story is not told a lot. Like,
that's what I was saying. I've
never
heard of it.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Oh man. Well, I'm just so glad that you were able to tell Angelique's story, and that I'm so glad that Genesis, you know, is there, and she is like
online. She is so beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
And with her family, which is so important. All right, real quick before we let you out of here, if you want to plug your show really quickly.
Oh yeah,
so everyone knows where to find you, and we'll have everything in the show notes as well.
Okay, so again, my show is Black Coffee, Crime, and Crochet. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Black Coffee, Crime, Crochet. Episodes will start. Season 2 will start next month. So you can binge season 1 now. It's 10 episodes. But when we do start again, we come out on Tuesdays. So yeah.
That's perfect. That's amazing. All right, we will let you out of here. We thank you again so much for being here. very, very much needed story. And we will talk to the rest of you guys next Tuesday as well. All right. Okay. Love you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Hey, BC3 crew. And listen, I know you're like, BC3 crew, but listen, yes, if you're here, that means you're part of the BC3 crew. I'm already claiming you. My name is Jasmine C.L. Prince, and I'm here to introduce you to my new true crime podcast, Black Coffee, Crime, and Crochet. Now, I know what you're thinking, another true crime podcast, and I get it. Trust me, I do. But let me tell you why you need to be a part of the crew. For real. We're talking true crime, right? But with a twist. We're covering exclusive cases by Black men and women. And we're talking fraud, scams, and even murder, okay? Murder. And that's your typical gang and drug murders. Nah. We covering frauds, scams, influencer people just taking people's money for no reason. Y'all remember the PPP stuff? Yeah, we're covering that.
That's crazy.
So make sure you join me every Tuesday for Black Coffee, Crime, and Crochet. Subscribe now and let's sip, stitch, and spill some true crime tea.